stayed on, but the whole idea is growing the game around the world, and that's what, particularly on the female side, really needs to be done. But Al?
Yeah, well, I just like especially hearing from Steve there, I actually got a story to share. So with my other job, I spend a lot of time traveling around the world, or I used to, not so much the last couple of years, but I had a chance to spend a week in North Vietnam there a couple of years ago, in Hanoi. And in Hanoi on the weekend, on Sundays, they close down the streets in the city, and it's basically they close down the streets, and all the families go out into the city, and they kind of walk around the streets and in the parks. And there's all these little vendors where they set up. They'll have a toy that they're selling, and they'll put it in the street, and the kids all kind of come and play with it, and they move on to the next one. So I came to this park. It was like a little plaza, and there was a little vendor who had some rollerblades that was there at this plaza, right? And I'm thinking, all right, well, this is kind of neat. Let's see what happens here. And there was little kids putting these rollerblades on, and I was thinking maybe I'd get a skating lesson or something. But these kids were like doing tricks up the stairs. They were doing mohawks and pivoting and skating backwards and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, geez, if somebody had a stick and a ball here, like you'd have some hockey players, right? And I just think of like all the money and all this, like everything that goes into, like, here's an example of just something that's done purely for fun. It's families out on a Sunday. Like they're paying a penny to rent rollerblades, and they're able to learn to skate because it's fun, and they're out there with their family and their friends. Like, you talk about growing the game around the world. Like, there's always ways to do stuff. Like, and I find that even at Tri-County, like, we're trying to figure out, like, how do we do it better? How do we get things done without adding any cost, right? There's always a way. It's just like, how do you find it, and what is that way, right? So, I don't know if that's something for you to take away, Steve. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to North Vietnam, but that was really cool. I'd say if somebody, again, like, whatever they do every Sunday night is all these families walking around. If one of the vendors happened to buy some sticks and a couple of balls or something like that, they'd have hockey players, guaranteed.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Al. I've seen and I've met somebody that organizes street hockey in one of the neighborhoods in Manila, like poor neighborhoods. So some of them are on rollerblades. They do have hockey sticks and a ball. Like even last year, I think they were getting together, a couple Saturdays a month, and these were just like local Filipinos. There's no North Americans, no foreigners. So it was the Ice Hockey Federation here knew about them, but getting them onto the ice, that's a whole different thing. We got to figure out ways to have a nice easy entry point for kids like that, because most of the country is poor here. So yeah. So I've seen it here too, Al.
Well, it's an issue that we're faced here in the U.S. It's not. It's become a rich person sport here.